here's another humdinger from Stephen Canaday at Peppergeekfarms. I wonder what it could be. So it's obviously Red Borg 9 and looks like the right kind of phenotype. It's a very dull surface on the pepper. Again, it's like the chocolate, it's really light. So I'm guessing there's not a whole ton of pepper flesh in here. There's going to be a lot of placenta. But it's bumpy and spiky and unpleasant looking. Very cool. Alright, let's hack it down this bit here, I guess. Oh, not quite. Alright, so it is somewhat similar to the red. There's a bit less placenta around the interior of the pepper, and a little bit more flesh, but not a whole hell of a lot. There's an awful lot of oil deposits over here. I don't know if you can see that kind of shiny bit there. There's a lot of droplets of oil in here, over in here, and here too. The aroma is very reminiscent of the brown, but without the tobacco-y, earthy tones that the brown chocolate varieties tend to have. But it doesn't smell very strong. There's not much to it. But I bet it's going to be a bit warm. So let's put it back and have a pop at this one. Red Borg 9. Hi, welcome to the kitchen again, and today we have another pretty impressive beast, fairly fashionable pepper of the moment. This is the Red Borg 9. Obviously I tried the chocolate version a few days ago, so should be able to at least give a reasonable comparison, I guess, in terms of heat and flavours and stuff. But I think you've seen in the intro what this thing looks like, but it's a good sized pepper, very light, not really much in the way of pepper flesh, which usually equates to them being stupidly hot, and I'm guessing this is no different. So, a Red Borg 9. Cheers. And it's soapy, no sweetness, a little bit of acidity but not much. Maybe the overriding taste is just soapy, not very bitter. So far it's not that hot either, but I'm sure that's going to change. Yeah, there's a little bit of acidity to it, which helps a touch. The flavours, hold on. It's not something I'd especially want to eat many of. At the very end of the flavour profile is a little bit of a green grassy undertone, like there was with the chocolate pod. And it's a real slow builder. It's just starting to build now. Slower than the chocolate pod. The flavour's not that dissimilar to the chocolate pod. It just doesn't have the leather and tobacco-y notes that all these chocolate brown pods do. Other than that, that sort of crayon-y, plasticky flavour. And it's really starting to blast my mouth now. Like the chocolate pod, it's all tongue and mouth burn, especially the tongue. It's really, really hurting my tongue right now. It's still building. Right now it's not especially hot. I mean, it's okay, it's very hot, but it's not ridiculous. But it's a very slow one. It's really still coming on. I'm starting to sweat a lot. Salivate a lot as well, and it's really starting to ramp up and fry my tongue. Like the brown one, I've got my tears that are quite hot and painful. I'm really smart. My eyes really smart at the moment. Yeah, it's all mouth, mainly tongue burn. There's not much at all in the throat. I'm sure it'll go a bit to the throat like the chocolate one did, but it's still ramping up. But so far this is not as hot as the chocolate one. Again, it's a very painful burn like the chocolate one was. Really making me sweat a great deal. So very hot, very painful. Not as hot as the chocolate one. Doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot at the moment. It's slowly creeping up, but only slowly. Starting to go a little bit into the back of the throat now. And it's still on the way up. It's still becoming more painful. So back of the tongue and starting to move to the back of the throat a bit. I really am sweating a lot now. It's peaked. I don't think it's going anywhere else. I think it's got to the top of where it's going to be, and that's a very big surprise. It's very hot, very painful, but nothing special. Flavour's kind of okay, nothing special. It's not as hot as a red bubblegum, at least the ones I've had anyway. It's probably more painful, I would say, than it is hot. It's really starting to thrash the back of my throat now. I really have that hot coal in the back of the throat going on. And it's just hanging around. It's not really leaving. It's not going up either. It's just hanging around, and I just about lost all the flavour in my mouth. It just about fried my tongue enough for that, but it's coming back quickly. I'm crying, all these hot tears pouring down my face, so it's really really irritable, or I'm really irritable. It makes me irritable. It's very irritating to my eyes. I've actually got streaks of heat running down where the tears were. So it's definitely on the way down. Nowhere near what I expected. No, beautiful pod, beautifully grown. I'm guessing that this, being a 4-way hybrid, is going to be a bit inconsistent, to say the least. Probably the same with the chocolate. I'm sure some of them are going to be insanely hot and some of them not, and this one is very hot, very painful, but not more so than a lot of other super hots. It's hard to know what to compare it to for nastiness. It's not as hot and aggressive as the red 7-pot bubblegum. At least this one's not. It's definitely going. What it's doing is it's leaving just the pain behind. The heat's kind of gone. I don't feel as though there's any heat much in my mouth anymore, but the back of my tongue and the back of my throat are really painful. And it really did make me come out in a flop sweat. But yeah, not really that much to it. It's over and done quite quickly, like the chocolate was. There's many other peppers that are as hot or hotter. Flavour wise, it's alright. There are much better tasting super hots. It looks great. It's certainly got an interesting history, but disappointing on the whole. Thought it was really going to light me up, and it didn't. Not as hot as the chocolate one, and the chocolate one wasn't as hot as I expected. So perhaps early season pods, or maybe due to the instability, who knows. But yeah, we're pretty much done. Yeah, there's not much left now. I'd like to say thanks very much to Stephen Canaday of Peppergeekfarms for sending me a Red Borg 9, among other things. Thanks a lot, Stephen. I really appreciate your generosity. And that was the Red Borg 9, so I'll see you all later. Bye.